2 years. 2 years since Nickson and I broke into the old Freddy Fazbear's. 2 years since Foxy warned us. 2 years since we ran for our lives. We don't talk about it anymore. We pretend it was just a stupid teenage adventure. Now we're in college, different campuses, different majors, different lives. But today, Nickson called. Not texted, not snapped, called. That alone was suspicious. I answered. Yo. His voice came through way too excited.
Bro, meet me at the new Freddy's location.
I blinked. The what?
The new Freddy Fazbear's. They reopened it. Grand opening. Daytime. Families everywhere. I heard their pizza tastes way better than what they were serving in the 90s.
I sighed. Nick, you weren't born in the 90s.
That's not the point.
Who told you that?
Some older folks who used to work there.
You mean your grandpa? Silence. Then,
Just meet me at the building. There are people going to be there.
I rubbed my forehead. Nick! He hung up. Classic. The new Freddy Fazbear's looked normal. Bright neon signs, kids running around with balloons, parents taking pictures, employees smiling like they were paid extra to smile. Nickson waved over. Terry, my guy, you made it. I already regret this. He grinned. Relax, it's daytime. Nothing creepy happens in the daytime. I stared at the building. Something felt familiar. Not dangerous, just familiar. We walked inside. The lobby was loud. Kids laughing, arcade machines beeping, music playing. It felt like a real restaurant. Nickson nudged me. See? No ghost. No boarded windows. No. He stopped talking. I followed his gaze. The prize corner. The puppet. Inside its box. Just staring. Not moving. Not twitching. Not floating. Just staring. At us. I swallowed. Nick, is it supposed to look like that? He shrugged. I mean, it's a puppet. It's supposed to look creepy. But something was wrong. Kids walked by. Parents walked by. Employees walked by. The puppet didn't look at any of them. Just us. Its head tilted, slow, deliberate, following us as we walked. Nickson whispered, Bro, why is it tracking us like a security camera? I forced a laugh. Maybe it recognizes you from your criminal record. I don't have a criminal record. You broke into a pizzeria with me. That was your idea. We kept walking, trying to act normal. But every time I glanced back, the puppet was still staring. Not blinking, not shifting, not distracting, just watching. Like it remembered us. Like it was waiting. Nickson leaned close. Terry, why does it feel like it knows something we don't? I didn't answer. Because deep down, I felt it too. Something wasn't right. Something was coming. And the puppet knew it. The prize corner was crowded. Kids grabbing toys, parents taking pictures, employees pretending they weren't exhausted. Normal, safe, bright. But the puppet wasn't looking at any of them. Just us. Nickson nudged me. Bro, let's check it out. Maybe it's, I don't know, motion activated? We walked up as the last group of kids ran off with their prizes. The puppet stood perfectly inside its box. No movement, no twitch, no floating, just staring. Nickson waved a hand in front of it. Hey, so does it talk? Is it broken? It's just standing there. I swallowed. Okay, maybe I was being paranoid. It's just a prop, a creepy one. But still. We turned to leave. Then, a voice. Soft, childlike. Right behind us.
The man that took us is still here.
We froze. I turned slowly. The puppet hadn't moved. Its mouth wasn't open. Its head wasn't tilted. Its body wasn't animated. But the voice came from it, and only we heard it. Nickson whispered, Terry, did you hear that? I nodded slowly. Yeah. The puppet's head twitched, barely, like a glitch in a video.
He took my knife.
My stomach dropped. What man? The puppet's voice buzzed, glitching like a dying speaker.
Hey, purple,
Nickson's eyes widened. Bro, that purple car we saw a while back? That was a man. I felt my chest tighten. If I remember correctly, I whispered. When we took off on our bikes, I did notice someone getting out of the car and going into the building. I just didn't know why. The puppet's mask tilted, slow, deliberate, like it was confirming something.
He's here.
The lights above us flickered. Just once. Just enough. Nickson grabbed my arm. Terry, we need to go. But I couldn't move, because for the first time in 2 years, I realized something. We didn't escape that night. We were being saved. And now, the thing that saved us was warning us. Nickson and I stood there, staring at the puppet like it hadn't just whispered a secret we weren't supposed to hear. My heart was pounding, but the room around us stayed normal. Kids laughing, parents talking, employees handing out tokens. Nobody else reacted. Just us. I stepped closer to the box. What the heck do you mean he's still here? Who is he? Tell me! The puppet didn't move, didn't blink, didn't tilt his head. It just shut down, like someone flipped a switch. Its eyes went blank, its body went stiff, and slowly, almost politely, it slipped back into its box as if nothing happened. Nickson looked around the room, scanning every adult, every teenager, every employee. I don't see anyone that stands out, he muttered. Who the heck is this man we're looking for? We're not exactly detectives. I rubbed my face trying to think. What do we even lead off from? I mean, what the heck are we supposed to do? Nickson shrugged helplessly. Ask around? Interview people? Bro, we're college students. I barely passed intro to psychology. I exhaled hard. If they have a parts and service room, Nickson's eyes widened. No, don't finish that sentence. I stared back at him. He stared back. Then he whispered, they do have a parts and service room. I looked around. The place was packed. Families everywhere. Employees walking back and forth. Kids running around with balloons. Okay, I said quietly. But how would we even get over there without anyone noticing? It's packed in here. Nickson scanned the room again, thinking. Then he leaned in. Bro, we're gonna have to wait. For what? For the moment this place gets just a little less crowded. I frowned. And when is that? He pointed at a giant sign near the stage. Showtime in 10 minutes. Nickson smirked. When everyone's distracted. I swallowed, because deep down, I knew something. If the puppet was warning us, if this man, whomever drove that same purple car, was real, if the withered animatronics remembered us, then whatever was waiting in parts and service wasn't going to be friendly. And this time, we weren't breaking in at night. We were walking into danger in broad daylight. The stage lights flickered on. Kids scream in excitement. Parents pull out their phones. Employees gather near the front to hype up the crowd. It's loud, it's bright, it's cheerful. And somehow, it feels worse. Nickson elbows me. Bro, this is perfect. Everyone's distracted. We can slip out and... He stops, because the toy animatronics walked onto the stage. Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica. All smiling, all waving, all moving in perfect sync. But their eyes kept drifting towards us. Not the crowd, not the kids, us. Nickson whispered, Bro, why are they looking at us like we owe them money? I swallow. Just don't make eye contact. We start moving toward the crowd, trying to blend in. Kids are jumping, parents are cheering. The music is blasting. But every few seconds, I feel it. A stare. A cold, mechanical stare. From the stage, from the hallway, from the prize corner, like the whole building is watching us leave. We slip past a few group of parents and make it to the side hallway. The one employees use. It's quieter here. Dimmer. Colder. Nickson checks behind us. Okay, nobody saw us. We're good. I nod. Parts and service should be down this hall. We start walking. The noise from the show fades behind us. The hallway feels too empty, too still, too expedient. Halfway down, Nickson stops. Bro, do you hear that? I listen. A faint tapping. Metal on metal. slow, rhythmic, coming from the vents above us. Nickson backs up. Nope, nope, nope. I know that sound. That's Mangle. I'm not doing this again. I'm not. I grab his arm. Relax. It's daytime. They're not active. The tapping stops. Silence. Then something drags itself across the vent, fast. Nickson whispers, Terry, I swear if that thing drops on me, I'm suing this place. I whispered back, you can't sue a building that runs on Duracell and nightmares. We reach the end of the hallway. A metal door sits there. Parts and service. Employees only. Nickson stares at it. I stared at it. Neither of us moves. Because behind that door, I could hear something breathing. Slow, heavy, mechanical. Nickson whispers, Bro, what if the withered ones really are in there? I swallowed hard. Then we're about to find out. I reach for the door handle. My hand is shaking. Not from fear, from the feeling that something on the other side already knows we're here. The metal door creaked open like it hadn't been touched in years. Cold air hits us first. Dust, old wires, metal, something stale. Then the smell. The same smell from 2 years ago. Nickson whispered, Bro, this place smells like expired batteries and trauma. I stepped inside and froze. They were all there. The animatronics from the first building. The ones who warned us, chased us, saved us, standing in the dark like forgotten statues. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, all silent, all broken, all watching. Nickson pointed immediately. Yo, what happened to Chica? Why does she look like she tried to eat a blender? I elbowed him. Dude, don't laugh. They've been through enough. He snorted anyway. I tried to keep a straight face as I looked at Bonnie. Missing his face, wires hanging, eyes glowing faintly. Nope, I whispered. Nope, don't look at me like that. We're here for answers, not nightmares. Then a voice cut through the room. Low, static-filled, familiar.
Yar, the man still be here.
We both spun around. Foxy's head twitched, his jaw clicking as he spoke in that broken pirate voice.
He be in the office, the one ye called manager.
Nickson's eyes widened. Bro, Foxy just said the man is here. In the office, right now. I rubbed my face. Of course he is. Of course he is. I turned to Foxy. Okay, and what exactly do you want us to do? Because A, we have no evidence. B, confronting him? And C, if he made it this far without being caught, what makes you think this is any different? Foxy's eyes flickered.
Because ye be the only one who listens.
The room went quiet. Freddy's head slowly turned toward us. Bonnie's servos whined. Chica's jaw clicked open just a little too wide. Not threatening, not hostile, just aware. Like they were waiting for us to understand something. Nickson whispered, Terry, why do I feel like we just walked into a meeting we weren't invited to? I swallowed hard, because deep down, I knew. The puppet didn't warn us by accident. The Witherings didn't remember us for no reason. And this man wasn't just still here. He was close. Too close. And whatever he was doing, we were already involved. I stood there staring at the parts and service door, heart pounding, brain racing. Then it hit me. A stupid idea. A dangerous idea. An idea Nickson was absolutely going to hate. Wait, I have an idea. Nickson looked at me like I just told him we were about to fight a bear. Bro, why do you sound like you're about to ruin my life? Because you're not gonna like it. We stepped out of the room and walked toward the open hallway leading to the office area. Families were still everywhere. Kids still laughing. Employees still smiling. But the deeper we walked, the quieter it got. We passed Mangle's area. Bright lights, colorful posters, and that twisted heap of metal hanging from the ceiling like a chandelier made of nightmares. Nickson glared at it. Bro, I swear that thing is staring at me. It doesn't have eyes, Nick. That's what makes it worse. I ignored him and kept walking. Okay, I whispered. Here's the plan. We act like we're lost. That way we can see the man up close. Nickson blinked. Lost? Terry, we're grown men. Exactly. It'll confuse him. He sighed dramatically. Fine, but if he calls security, I'm blaming you. We reached the office doorway. The door was open. Inside, a man sat at a desk, flipping through paperwork. Older, tired, sharp eyes, a presence that felt wrong, like the air shifted around him. Nickson nudged me. Bro, that's him. That's the guy. I stepped forward before he could finish. Excuse me, sir, I said, trying to sound clueless. We kinda took the wrong turn. Mind, telling us what this place is? The man looked up, slowly, deliberately. His eyes met mine. Cold, calculating, familiar. A smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. Not friendly, not warm, just knowing. Of course, he said softly. His voice was calm. Too calm. This, he said, folding his hands, is Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And you boys look very familiar. Nickson swallowed hard. I felt my stomach drop, because now that I was standing this close, I recognized him. The jawline, the eyes, the posture, the man from the purple car. William Afton. Alive, older, dangerous, and looking at us like he already knew why we were here. Afton didn't argue. He didn't deny anything. He didn't even look surprised. He just stood up, slowly, like we were nothing more than a minor interruption in his day. He brushed off his sleeve, straightening his tie, and gave us a tired, almost bored smile. All right, he said softly. That's enough excitement for one afternoon. Nickson stiffened beside me. Afton stepped around the desk, hands behind his back, posture calm, too calm. You boys should really run along now. He continued, enjoy the pizza, play some games, leave the grown-up areas to the grown-ups. His tone wasn't angry. It was worse, dismissive, like we were children who wandered somewhere we didn't belong. Nickson clenched his jaw. We're not kids. Afton chuckled under his breath. No, he said, but you're acting like them. He walked past us, slow and deliberate, like he knew we wouldn't move, like he knew we wouldn't dare. Then he stopped, right behind us. His voice dropped to a whisper, calm, polite, and cold enough to freeze bone. And boys, if you ever come back here again. He smiled, not wide, not dramatic, just a small, knowing curl of his lips. There will be consequences. My stomach twisted, because he didn't say it like a threat. He said it like it was a promise. Afton stepped into the hallway, hands behind his back, and walked away without looking back. Like we didn't matter, like we weren't already forgotten. Nickson exhaled shakingly. Bro, what does he mean by consequences? I swallowed hard. I don't think he means security. The hallway felt colder the second Afton walked away. Nickson grabbed my arm. Bro, we're leaving. Now. We moved fast, not running, but close. The hallway to the dining area was just ahead. Nickson reached the door first. He grabbed the handle, twisted it. Click. He froze. Terry, it's locked. I tried it too. Same result. Locked. From the inside, my chest tightened. He must have shut it behind us. Nickson breathing picked up. Bro, no. A soft voice behind us. I warned you about consequences. We turned. Afton stood at the far end of the hallway. Calm, still, hands behind his back. And in one hand, he held something. A mask. Old, dusty, yellowed. The Spring Bonnie mask. He lifted it slowly, almost nostalgic. You know, I haven't worn this in a very long time. Nickson backed up until he hit the locked door. Afton kept walking. Slow, deliberate, like he had all the time in the world. People forget how much fun we used to have in this place. He slipped the mask over his face. The sound of it clicking into place echoed down the hallway. My breath froze.
Back then, I could walk anywhere I wanted.
Nickson grabbed my arm. Terry, we gotta. Afton tilted his head, voice muffled through the mask.
I warned you boys, and you just didn't listen.
He took one more step, and that's when we heard it. A metallic creak above him. Afton didn't notice. He was standing directly under a vent. The vent cover trembled. Nickson whispered, "Bro, look up." Afton didn't. He kept talking.
You should have run along when I told you.
Mango dropped from the vent like a pile of metal and wires exploding onto the floor. Afton stumbled back, startled. The mask slipped sideways on his face. Nickson didn't hesitate. "Go!" We shoved past Afton while he was off balance, sprinting down the hallway. I didn't look back. I didn't want to see if it was following us. We slammed into the dining area, breathless, shaking, yelling for help. We burst through the hallway door the second it unlocked. I didn't know if it was Mangle's fall, a glitch, or pure luck, but we stumbled into the dining area, gasping, shaking, yelling before we even realized we were yelling. "He locked us in! Call the police! He tried to corner us!" Parents turned. Kids froze. Employees rushed over. Nickson was paled, pointing back toward the hallway. "He put on a mask. He blocked the exit. He wouldn't let us leave." The manager's face drained of color. She ran to the security panel. Her voice cracked. There's a manual lockdown override from the back office. That wasn't scheduled." People started whispering. Someone called 911. Someone else grabbed their kid and held them close. And then the police arrived. 2 officers pushed through the crowd, hands on their belts, scanning the room. "Where is he?" Before anyone could answer, Afton stepped out of the hallway. Calm, straightened tie, mask gone, like nothing happened. He looked at the officers with a polite smile. "Is there a problem, gentlemen?" The officers didn't smile back. "Sir, we need you to come with us." Afton sighed like they were inconveniencing him. "Really? Over what? A misunderstanding?" Nickson snapped. "You locked us in!" The crowd murmured. Employees nodded. The manager held up the security tablet. "Manual lockdown, triggered from your office." Afton's smile twitched. Just a little. The officers turned him around and cuffed him. He didn't resist. He didn't argue. He just looked at us. Right at us. Like he was studying us. Like he was memorizing us. As they walked him toward the cruiser, he leaned slightly toward me and Nickson. His voice was soft, almost gentle. "Boys, you really shouldn't have come back." The officer opened the car door. Afton paused, looked over his shoulder, and with that same calm, chilled smile, he said, "I always come back." The officers rolled his eyes. Yeah, tell it to the judge." He pushed Afton aside and shut the door. The crowd watched in stunned silence as the cruiser pulled away. Parents whispered. Kids clung to their moms. Employees stared at the ground. Nickson exhaled shakingly. "Bro, we actually got him arrested." I didn't answer, because something felt off. The air shifted. Soft, cold, familiar. A faint chime echoed from the prize corner. The music box. But it wasn't winding. It was humming. Then just for a moment, barely louder than a breath, a voice drifted through the air. Not mechanical, not glitchy. Gentle, grateful.
Thank you.
Nickson froze. "Bro, did you hear?" I heard. We didn't go back to check. We didn't need to. We walked out into the sunlight, shaken, exhausted, changed. And for the first time since we stepped inside, it was finally over.